Alright, in this video we're going to look at doing a box plot or box and whisker plot in Excel. And we have the data over here, and we're going to have to do some things and do some modifying to get a box plot because Excel doesn't do one. So here we have our data. So what we need to do the box plot is we need the minimum value, the first quartile, the median, the third quartile, and the maximum value. Alright, so let's go ahead and find the minimum value. So I'll hit equals, and then I'll type in min, our function, parentheses, and then I will hold the left mouse button down and drag and get all the data. And so you can see there's quite a bit of data here. And there's the last one. I'll do close parentheses and enter. And so there's my minimum value. Now, for the next function, when I hit equals, there's a quartile function, and we have to select the range. Well, instead of selecting the entire range, if you notice up here, I know the range is from A2 to A165. So instead of clicking and dragging, I can just type that in. Alright, so for the first quartile, I'll hit equals, quartile, parenthesis, and then it says the array. See how the array is highlighted here? Alright, so I'll just type in A2 colon to A165, and then comma, and now we've gone to the quartile, and we want the first quartile, and you can see that it gives us this, and so we'll just type in 1 for the first quartile and hit enter. And then for the median, I can hit equals, median, parenthesis, and the same thing, I want the range A2 colon to A165 and enter. And then I need the third quartile, so equals, quartile, parenthesis, my range A2 to A165, comma. Now I want you to notice this. See, for the third quartile, we type in a 3, and for the first quartile we typed in a 1. But look at this. We could have also used, for this minimum value, we could have used the quartile function and the quartile function for median, and we could use the quartile function for the max. Look at this. See, if we enter in the quartile function and we want the minimum value, we just put comma, we select our array, and then for the quartile we would put 0, and that gives us the minimum value. 1 gives us the first quartile, 2 would give us the median, and 3 would give us the third quartile, and if we type in 4 for the quartile, that's going to give us the maximum value. So, that's another option there. Alright, so let's type in 3, hit enter, and then we'll do the max, and once again I could use the quartile function, but I'm just going to use max A2 to A165 and hit enter. Alright, so there's my values there. Now let me make this a little bit wider here. Now what we need now is we need the differences. Okay, and this is actually, let me click in there. This is actually what we're going to use to make our box and whisker plot, is the differences. So for the first one, I'm going to hit equals, and I want just this value. Okay, and I'll hit enter. Now for this one, I need the difference between the first quartile minus the minimum value, and I'll hit enter. Okay, and then the next one, I need the difference between the median and the third quartile, and then the third quartile and the median, and then the max and the third quartile. But instead of typing the formula, if I copy this down, this D3 is going to change to D4, and the D2 is going to change to D3. So I'll have D4, see, this is D4 minus D3. So I don't have to type it. I can just highlight the cell where the formula is, and then grab the bottom right hand corner, see how the plus is changing, hold the left mouse button down and drag, and that gives me the differences. Alright, so now we're ready to do our box plot. So what I want to do is I want to highlight the data, and then I'm going to go to insert, and we can either insert a stacked column chart. That's if you want the box plot to go up and down, or we can do a stacked bar chart. Okay, that's if we want the box plot to go horizontally, and I think we're going to do a stacked bar, so I'll click on that. And so here you can see that this is not what we want at all. Okay, so what we'll do is, you see this switch row to column, we're going to click on that, and now we have something like we want. Okay, so I think the first thing I'm going to do, the chart title, I'm going to give it a title. That's going to be ages. You just click on chart title and start typing, space, dash, and then I'm going to put box plot and hit enter. Okay, so there's my title. I'm not going to need that value there. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we have to modify this thing. Okay, so we've got to have whiskers on it. Well, you see this value right here. This is what, 36.75. You see the 36.75? That's that value there. Okay, that's our first quartile. And then here you can see that's between 40 and 50. You see the 42, that's our median, and then this one's between 50 and 60. Well, that's our third quartile. You see there? All right. So what the stacked box plot's doing? See, with these differences, it's going to go from 0 to 22. Okay, and then this one is 14.75. That's going to get us up to the 36.75, and then it's going to add 5.25 to get us to the median, and then 11.25 to this to get us to the third quartile, and then 26.75 to get us to the 80. But see, all we need is this green and purple area. We don't need this, this, or this. So what we're going to do here is we'll double click on this. Okay, double click, and then I want to go to this fill and line, and I'm going to put no fill, and then the same thing here. You can just leave this open, click on the red and click no fill, and then click on this one and no fill. Okay, and depending on what version of Excel you have, it might, this might look a little bit different. This is Excel 2013. Alright, so now we've got rid of that. Alright, so I'm going to close that. And so now what we need is we need to add some error bars to come off to make our whiskers. Okay, so to do that we need this box here. Now, depending on what version you have, in 2013 I click on it and the box comes up. Some versions it may not. Okay, so the way that we would get there is just click on this one. Okay, and then I need to go to this box here. So I'll hit the left arrow key on my keyboard and it'll take me over there. Alright, so so what happens is, I'm sorry, we're not, yes, we're going to need this one. Alright, so what the error bar does is it's going to add an error bar. Whatever box you're on, it's going to add it to the right hand side of that box. Okay, and so we click on that box, it's going to add it to the right hand side, and I'm going to go this way with it. Okay, so with the box clicked, you can go to this add chart element, and like I said, it might look different depending on what version you have, but what you need to look for are the error bars. Okay, and when you get to error bars, you want to hit more error bar options, and so we click on that, and you can see that's not really what we want. I want the minus because I want it to go back out this way. Okay, now if you notice here, you see where the error bar stops. It stops between 20 and 30, but we can see it's not going to the minimum. See, it should be over here more. It should go to the 22. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I need to come over here to custom and specify value. Okay, and I need a negative. See, if I enter the positive, it's going to go this way, but to enter the negative, I want it to go this way. So I'm going to click here, and from this value here, okay, see this right here is the 36.75 value. I need it to go back what, 14.75 units to get to the 22, and so we're going to click on this value. Okay, and then I hit OK, and there it is. Okay, now it's going to add it to the right hand side, so I want it to go from here this way, so I'm going to click on this one, the purple box, and I'm going to add the error bars. I'm going to put more error bar options, and I want it to go this way, so that's going to be the plus direction. Okay, so see how it has it right there? That's where it's starting, but you can see the max is going all the way up to 80. Okay, well this value here is what, 53.25. Okay, well I need to add 26.75 to get to 80. So when I hit custom specify value, I click here, and then when I you see here how I accidentally clicked on the negative. We have to click on the positive error value. Okay, notice for this one it was the negative error value, but for this one over here it's going to be the positive error value. So I click here, and then I hit 26.75. So what it's doing is it's adding 26.75 to this value here, and that's going to get it all the way up to the 80. And so I hit OK, and there it is, and there's your box and whisker plot. And so I'll close that. Now what we can do is this right here with a box and whisker plot, it's usually going to be a solid color, so we'll click into here, we'll double click, and we'll come here to, let's see, fill. We will do solid fill and maybe change it to, I don't know, how about this orange here? And then the same thing here, we can just click on this and we'll change it to that orange color there, and you can see it's one solid line. So let's click on this again, and since we're already here, we can put a border on it so we can kind of distinguish. We'll do solid, and we'll make it black, and then same thing here. We'll do a solid border and make it black, and so that looks a little better there. Okay, and so there's your box and whisker plot, and you can change it. You can put it on another sheet by just right clicking on the chart area, move chart, hit new sheet, and you can rename the sheet. You can name it box plot or box and whisker plot, whatever you want to name it, and just hit OK, and it'll create it on another sheet. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave it on here. But Hopefully this video helped. And if you like it, you can watch my other videos and subscribe. All right, thanks.